picture this. Bernie, AOC, 2028. That's not a crazy question.
Yes, it is.
People have been seeing him out with these sort of anti-fight oligarchy rallies. There have been people saying, hey, they look good together. Maybe they'll run in 2028. What do you think? Is that odd? Look, Donald Trump says he wants a third term. Why not Bernie and AOC? We'll see.
I fucking love Don Lemon. But yeah, this whole concept is crazy. It's dripping from the ceiling of the cave. Batshit crazy. First thing, right off the fucking bat, throwing in there that Donald Trump wants to run for a third term, that should not be our metric of sanity. Anything that Donald Trump wants to have happen. Well, I mean, crazier things can happen. I mean, Donald Trump wants third term. Donald Trump is fucking insane. He is not our metric here. Okay, just think about this for a second. By the time we enter into the election cycle for 2028, Bernie Sanders will be 87 years old. 87. Which means if he were to get elected and serve out an entire 4-year term, he would be 91 by the time his first term ended. It blows my mind that the very same people that yell at the top of their lungs about term limits in Congress want, and the same people that bitch and moan about the boomers and the older generation and the way they have fucked things up and so forth and so on, want the oldest president in American history, as long as it's Bernie. I agree with the vast majority of what Bernie Sanders has to say. I am not sitting here telling you I disagree with Bernie Sanders. Here's what I don't like about Bernie Sanders. He stayed in the 2016 presidential election too long. After he was mathematically eliminated, he stayed in it, and he caused harm to the Democratic ticket. I've shown you the numbers over and over and over again, how Bernie Sanders voters, people who voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary, but then voted for Donald Trump in the general election, cost Hillary Clinton Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And I'm here to tell you without a question of a doubt, I have only met in the course of my life, I have only ever met 2 groups of voters that cannot name a single thing that their candidate espouses that they disagree with. Now, I'm talking about people who look at up and down what their candidate stands for on every single issue, and they cannot find one thing that they disagree with. I've only ever met 2 groups of voters that fall into that category: Trump voters and Bernie voters. The people who write Bernie Sanders in every fucking election cycle are the MAGA of the left. Bernie Sanders couldn't get enough primary votes in 2016 and lost support between 16 and 2020. It's over. Bernie Sanders will never be president. If you want to have a conversation about AOC being president, that's a conversation that can be had. You want to have a conversation about AOC being the new flag bearer of the Democratic Party, as much as I like AOC and agree with a lot of things that she stands for, I don't think that she's the next standard bearer, in my personal opinion. But that's a conversation that can be had and makes sense. Bernie Sanders, no, it's over. He is never going to be president. It is time for the far left to get that through their thick fucking skull. It is fine for him to do rallies and talk about the issues. It is fine for him to rail away against the fascism that's taking hold in this country. It is fine for him to try and motivate the next generation of voters. But it is time that that next generation of voters get it through their fucking skull. Bernie Sanders is never going to be president. And if you guys want to piss and moan about old people hanging on to power and how this is now a young person's world, you got to stop trying to elect the oldest motherfucker to ever be president. Listen, either we're going to be serious about trying to win, or we're going to keep fucking touching this hot stuff. I'm sorry. I want to be serious about trying to win. I don't want to make a good argument and then watch a Republican win again. I want to be serious about trying to win. And at the end of the day, Bernie Sanders does not have the support nationally. He's got a lot of support, but he clearly doesn't have it to get elected. He doesn't have it to get the fucking nomination. He's going to be old. He already is old as fuck. He's going to be old as fuck. And whether you want to admit it or not, if you want a motivating factor for people that are on the fence, people that are on the far right, the center right, on the fence, maybe sort of lean right, but could be swayed either way, you want a motivating factor to bring all of those motherfuckers together, and it's not because it's a bad thing, it's because they don't fucking know any better. It's put a candidate up there that calls himself a socialist. We know that's not a bad thing. They don't. Watch motherfuckers come out of the woodwork in record numbers to vote against this fucking guy if he's the actual nominee. Either we're going to be serious about winning in 2028 or we're going to go ahead and concede that the Republicans are going to take it again. Which one is it?